It's going to be between LA and New York, East versus West, and it's going to be a game that I'm extremely looking forward to. Oh, we're being told in my ear it's not yet just now. So we'll continue to talk about the two gaming centers. Okay. New York's already got one win under their belt with the Explore contest. Customization, they're not doing so well at the moment, but they're looking kind of strong going into this. In the Loco finals, they were very impressive. What are you guys thinking?
Not thinking much.
This is obviously a very pressing matter. You guys are in deep thought here. I'm going to go out on a whim and say I think New York are going to take this. I know they've been putting a lot of time in. When I've been driving around, they have been all there. But look at this. We're going straight into the game, so we'll come back to this.
But LA wasn't driving that well the last time, but I think maybe they improved this time. You never know that.
Potentially. And look at this beginning part. This beginning part is a kind of chaos here.
This is battle.
You can see them hanging back the whole way there to miss out any of this carnage at the beginning. And I can see from the top there, it looks like, it's New York in the lead currently. We've got an LA driver taking second and third. So we've got New York in the lead with one player, but it's all important on how these points are going to stack up. And you can see, being a street race, these corners can be very tight, and they've got to be very careful around every single corner.
But they won't take any prisoners.
There are, like I spoke about in the dirt maps earlier, it is checkpoint to checkpoint, and I've seen some of these players didn't realize how many corners they can actually cut, because
you can't miss a checkpoint.
There is a lot of detours you can take here and actually benefit from it, especially in like there's selective maps that have a lot of very, very good detours that you need to be taking if you want to have a chance.
I think what happens here is they're so focused on trying to get every little advantage.
Exactly.
You see some of them maybe miss a checkpoint or so, and that really throws you off. It's almost impossible to come back from that. And you can see, look at these two corners coming right up there. We're trying to find. It's not zoomed in all the way. I'm trying to work out who exactly is in the lead, but I believe it's still.
It is a World Gamer Nation, and then there's 3 LAs right after.
So the LA point system is going to look much better in their favor. We've got one from New York up front, second, third, and fourth going down. So World Gamer Nation, their bottom runners need to kind of step it up a little bit, push a little bit harder through these corners.
I was more worried about World Gamer Nation, so this is pleasing to me.
He tried to take a shortcut that wasn't there.
That didn't break. That was an impenetrable fence.
And this actually ends up being LA in first, second, and fourth.
Yeah, so
and they're fighting each other. They've got to be so careful, because I've seen it before. If they fight each other, you could knock your own team out of the race, and you need all them points.
But LA is driving
very close.
They are driving for peace, so
they've got the peace car.
There's only so much space around the corners, so you really need to give room to your teammates and communicate where you are.
Look at that. World Gamer Nation have stepped up to second now, so it's first, second, third. And look at that. World Gamer Nation are going to go for the first place. Taxi Cab here from New York is pushing really hard. Palud from LA is pushing, and look at this. Nearly off the road a little bit there. They're being very careful. You're going to see them all using their nitro boosts, I'm sure, to push forward throughout all of this. But they've got to be careful on them corners, being a street map. And this constant change for first, second, and third. This is so tense right now. But look at that, you've still
actually the standing right now is just LA, New York, LA, New York, LA, New York.
Oh no, we actually see New York's taken third as well. So the point system could go in New York's favor, even though they've got the first player there.
It's just such a scramble right now to get a decent lead after this first race, and there's still some way to go.
How close it is. And look at that, World Gamer Nation do take the lead again.
They're changing all the time.
Yeah, they seem to just be benefiting from each other's slipstream, just lying in the dead zone.
Pushing each other out the way just there.
That's a very cool part about the crew as well, that you can do slipstreaming and you can do real racing.
The slipstream part I've seen in so many other games, and it's always something you get notified of. And in the crew, it's more a natural thing. Yeah, it's not an element that needs to be a point system like in other popular driving games.
World Gamer Nation have to be very careful here, though, because look, they are getting very close to taking each other out. They're fighting for that first and second place, but they don't want to eliminate each other because the point system, they need it all to clock up, and they've got to be careful here. It's neck and neck the whole way. They're both boosting with their nitro, and look at that, Taxi Cab's going to take the lead.
He's actually in the slipstream. He might be able to pass if he's got a bit of nitro left.
If he has nitros, he can go past now.
Oh no, and LA's joining the battle there. And I believe we just had a winner, or trying to work that out exactly.
That was 2 World Game of Nations and then a...
That was a close finish.
We're unsure exactly where that went, but I believe we would have seen a World Game of Nation take first and then LA just sneak in on second off the end of that. That was really intense and really close. What did you guys think?
It was a massive battle from the start.
Constantly as well. There was no real clear defining winner at all.
It shows a lot about what mindset they...
And we can see the points up
going
there. Oh, it just disappeared. Let's hopefully we can bring the scores back up once again, because we would like to have confirmation of who's won that. But I think it's going to be maybe World Game of Nation from New York, who've just edged it out a little bit there. And you can see that World Game of Nation took first and second. You have the next 3 at LA, and sadly, 6th place was World Game of Nation. So that could be the difference there. Look at the point system. Let's add this up. 18, 19, 20, 20.
The point system might actually not fit entirely with how it says here, because we have the 2 spectator.
Yes. So that could change it up just a little bit. So we'll wait for full confirmation of the scores there. But I'm incredibly impressed for the first race we saw from both of them teams.
Very much, yeah.
There's a big rivalry going on for sure there.
And we'll see if being a dirt map on the next, if that changes it up at all.
Yeah.
Because that's a completely different way of driving.
It's a different skill set.
Your car feels all weird compared to street.
And they might not have practiced on dirt so much, because we see a lot of these teams are favouring the street at the moment all the way, because it being the mission-based maps.
And this dirt map, has to be said, it's a very tight dirt map. There's not a lot of open spaces, which there typically is in a dirt map. It's more of it's actually a closed circuit dirt map.
So I believe I just heard the score in my ear, but I didn't quite get it. Let me see if they're going to give me that again or bring it up on the scoreboards. That would be fantastic right about now. I'm hearing something.
And the next race actually starting right about
it's
now.
It's already starting?
Ah.
And they're heading.
They might just be getting into position, so we're going to wait to find out exactly what's going on with the races. Remember, guys, this is just a brand new. This game isn't fully released, so we're going through some little teething problems of getting all of this right.
It's the one with the windmills.
So this is going to be good.
And here, after the first corner, actually, it ended up being fairly equal for everyone. They're still fighting for the pole position and haven't really managed to knock anyone completely off track. They're just lying side by side, trying to squeeze each other off the tracks.
And if you look at 5th place here, it's Red Veroso or something I'm trying to say in one word here. But last time he was last, and he's pushing hard now. He's currently in 5th, so he's not going to allow that to happen once again.
There comes the jump.
And this is where it gets a bit crazy.
It is hilarious to land on top of someone. I've done that a few times now.
You can jump over another car. That's the best one.
Like, we actually ended up not taking that jump and trying to theorize on whether you lost more time than you gained by jumping it or just driving around it. And it's things like that that really can bring you the edge in situations like that.
And this is what we're going to see. We've got the scoreboards right now. It's World Game of Nation with 21, and it's LA with 15. So World Game of Nation took a big win there with the 2 taking first and second. And again, we can see World Game of Nation are in the lead. They've got first and third there. Look at that crashing in that corner. Everything slowed up a little bit there.
Completely, yeah. And the score actually up here, 21 to World Game of Nation and 15 to Cyber City.
Now they try to take each other out. Boring.
They've got to be very careful. You've got to really act as a team here. You can't be pushing each other around.
Exactly, and if you leave your teammate as well, he's going to get knocked out by the opponent's team. See, they're just trying to take off the end of the cars
because
off each other.
The car is tail happy, so if you get a little nudge, it goes.
It is just very, very hard to be precise about, because as soon as that tail releases, like as soon as you don't have a hold of it anymore, your own car goes flying off to the side as well. So you need to be fast on the reaction on it.
And we can see that LA have actually taken second and third now. Still Bandit, he's up there at the top, taking first place at the moment. But the other World Game of Nation guys, one's just Taxi Cab's gone into second now, and it's still all changing constantly here. World Game of Nation are just looking that little bit stronger at the moment. But look
just
how close everyone is.
Yeah.
Everyone is still so grouped up. It's changing every single minute here.
And it's literally every corner. Like, if you take one corner too wide, someone's going to go past.
Exactly like that.
That was a pretty perfect timing for...
Commentator's curse.
He took a corner a bit too wide, actually hit a little thing that knocked him back, and two people just took it slow and short and got it on his inside.
You have to be very precise on dirt.
And if World Gamer Nation can keep this up, they're going to push that lead even further right now.
They're going to make it very hard for Cyber City to get back into this and have a chance to move on to the semi-finals.
And I'm just loving how that up front there, Bandit is just running away with it while everyone else is scrambling for second, third, and fourth.
He put on the nitros in the air. You saw it?
The thing is, though, as soon as you get away from like the core group, you're pretty okay. Cause,
as long as you don't massively mess up.
Exactly.
I guess.
You just have to drive safely by then. It's the problem is getting away from the group, because they can just keep harassing you if you don't
push you around, isn't it?
Yeah. So. Like, there's different strategies. Taking the first corner really slow and safe and like tight is a way to go, or you can try and save up enough nitro and just pump it out all at once. There's different ways to go about it.
So, and they're finished
and
already.
There we go. So we've seen World Gamer Nation are taking first and second again. Then we get 2 from LA, 1 more from World Gamer Nation. That's going to put them nicely ahead right now. We'll get the score updated as soon as possible.
6 and leading by more.
This is going to be a big lead for New York right now. LA just
will be hard to get back there.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to pull this back. We've still got 2 more races to see though, so still plenty of action to come.
True.
You guys happy with that?
I am.
Of course. But next race,
you're starting to worry now, aren't you, Nicholas? You don't think Denmark can do this? Doubt is in your ear. This confidence has gone from you.
I didn't want World Domination to go on at all.
Oh, but, the competition is fierce.
They're doing quite well. Not taking as many shortcuts as us.
So you're just focusing on the shortcuts. Don't give too much away.
No, exactly. It's about finding the right way to do it for you, not just for the map.
For how you drive.
And for how you drive and for what you drive even.
But the victory is more sweet if you take out the best.
What you were saying before, Nicholas, was about, obviously, when you start kind of hanging back a little bit. I much prefer that approach because, obviously, you let them scramble, let them mess it up, and just head straight through once you're ready.
And it's playing with just a little bit of unexperienced drivers, they will all end up crashing in that first corner. They'll try and take each other out, and they'll end up in the side.
I think they lose focus of the actual race. Like they're all like, "Oh, I want to get there, I want to get there," and then they lose control of exactly what they're planning to do.
It's not about being first at the start of the race. It's about being first at the end of the race.
Exactly.
But they don't like to press the brake button. They have 2 buttons, you know.
Wow.
Exactly.
They do the throttle. That's the best one.
Exactly.
So the scores we've just had is 43 for New York and 29 for LA. So quite a big difference already. That's going to be
the difference.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a climb for LA, but it's still possible. If they manage to come up top trumps on the next couple of maps, we could see them run away with this and change the tide around. What do you guys reckon, though? How do you think this is going to play out?
If New York takes the next one, it's over.
There's a lot of key corners on these next 2 maps that can pretty much go to any side. It really depends on how they end up taking the duels. This map, Grand Park Loop, that we're moving into now.
Oh, yes, here we go.
We go 2 or 3 times around, I can't remember. It's a circuit of a couple of laps, and there's quite a few corners where if you don't take them correctly, you end up losing so much time because there's a long stretch after it. Like this stretch he's driving right now, he could have had so much more speed going into that if he had taken his corners a bit better.
But this is a fantastic start for LA. Behind. Look at LA. They've got 2 first and second right now. Third, one of the World Game Nations, and then 4th, LA.
True.
If they can hold this is the kind of change that they needed to kind of spin this scoreboard around.
So it's all about smart driving as well.
And a thing in this map that is really, really important is to make sure you keep an eye out for traffic, because you drive out to different sized roads and through different sized lights.
Yeah, it's definitely it gets wider.
Sometimes you just end up being in the middle of rush hour. There's cars everywhere.
I've had that a couple of times. It's crazy.
You really need to learn how to use your downshift, upshift, and handbrake and all this to just navigate through a the tiniest areas.
And that's the beauty of this game, though. The fact that with all the oncoming traffic, anything can happen. Just depends what's gonna happen to you when you turn that corner. Is there gonna be loads of traffic? And obviously they abide by the rules. They're waiting at the red lights. You've got to find your quickest way past them.
I actually think that traffic increases in some tracks.
I know it increases when you're playing solo. This much I know. Which makes sense. When you're playing 6 guys on one map, you don't want as much traffic as when you're playing solo, because that just means there's gonna be madness everywhere. No one's gonna be driving more than 50 miles per hour.
Yeah. Complete chaos. But World Gamer Nation, look at that Bandit again. He seems to be the front runner for New York right now. He's taken the lead. Taxi Cab's gone into second. New York are not going to allow LA to run away from this, and it's all changed around. We've got currently first and second with World Gamer Nation, third and fourth with LA, then fifth with World Gamer Nation, and sixth down with LA. So New York once again looking that much stronger.
Looking terribly much stronger.
Yeah. You're starting to panic more and more, and I'm enjoying this. Your confidence is being knocked.
I have a few hours to brief the guys tomorrow.
Will that be enough, Nicholas?
Oh, no doubt.
He still remains confident, even when he's watching superb driving from World Gamer Nation.
Yeah, superb.
And another lap.
I'm so biased, it hurts.
And look at Bandit's nicely in the lead. He's
I
been very careful.
I hate that school bus. It happens every time. Yeah. And the worst thing is driving into a crossing, and the school bus decides all of a sudden, okay, I need to go left, even though I'm in the right lane and all this, and there's no logic behind it going to the left. But he decides, okay, I'm gonna be in the way if I do this.
There is logic. He tries to make your life as miserable as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying to block you.
And really a school bus that just fills up the entire road, and you just have to end up having to drift out into the sidewalks or something. It's a nightmare.
And this is fantastic from Bandit. Like you were saying before, Nicholas, when you've got that kind of free road ahead of you, as long as you don't mess up, as long as you just keep pushing that little bit, you'll be able to maintain that lead and don't have to really fight with the rest of the pack. And by the looks of it, he's got quite a large lead right now.
He seems to be doing exactly what we're saying, by hanging back a little at the start and then just letting the others make their mistakes, and then he can get past and just drive his safe.
And I think he's won every single race so far as well.
Yeah,
he's really doing well.
Top driver.
And it's really there's nothing special about his driving. It's really just he brakes in every turn. He takes it nice and easy.
Yes, a good driving technique.
It really is
very, very safe. Yes.
Yeah, safe and cautious, I think, will be the key word for Bandit right now.
Especially facing a lot of oncoming traffic, safe and cautious is a good way to go, because you lose so much time in a crash.
Oh, you see them, they hit a car head on. And you probably lose about 5-10 seconds, and it can ruin your whole race.
5-10 seconds, that's an immense amount of time. I mean, if you're driving 200 miles an hour, that's a huge distance you can drive in that time.
Yeah, that can put you all the way back from first to last.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this is quite a long race.
He's driving very clean.
Yeah, Bandit's just doing it
I like his driving
flawlessly at the moment in this sense.
And actually,
then he hits a car.
And actually, his teammate is following him quite nicely.
This is another one where the parked cars are exactly in the spot where you want to drift a little, or you want to take the ideal line. So you are forced to take a different line. And if there's somebody right behind you, then you have to be really, really careful that they don't take you out by pushing you right into those cars.
You can't allow that back end to just kind of hang out on these corners. You have to pull it right in before you hit the oncoming traffic, that's for sure.
There's some very special car choices on this map as well. I would never ever take a Mustang or a Camaro on a map with this many.
It's got to be the Nissan.
turns.
It's got to be the Nissan for this.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna pull out all my secret weapons yet. That'll have to wait till tomorrow, where they can fix their mistakes anyway.
So, you've heard it here first. All of them marked Nissans.
No, we don't hate Nissans. We actually use it a lot for dirt. Where it seems to be sprinting really well. It can't really take any shoulder-to-shoulder duel with anyone, but it can, if it gets ahead of the field, it can really sprint off.
We're getting close to that finish line.
For street maps like this, where there's a bunch of tight corners and traffic to divert from, there are other weapons than muscle cars. You want You want a tiny city car.
Bandit goes through in first.
Exactly.
Taxi cab second, and then we're gonna see. So it's gonna be pretty standard. There wasn't too much change towards the end of that map. It all balanced out.
I'm kind of thinking they need a first, second, and third now for LA.
I don't even think that would be able to change it right now. I think New York is that far ahead.
Oh, that's tough news for Cyber City in LA.
And we'll wait for the last one to go straight over that finish line. And there you have it. Another pretty much flawless race from the two top New York players there, Bandit and Taxi.
That race was pretty much decided very short after the start.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see the run down there.
If you don't make mistakes.
Yeah, because they got their two safe players ahead of the curve and just let them do their nice and easy driving, which is a great strategy.
And as long as you don't mess it up, as long as you don't go head first into any traffic or make a real big blunder, you can pretty much kind of relax a little bit, but still keep your foot on the pedal and just push that little bit further to make it work. But then
there's sometimes where you end up hitting just this tiny thing, this tiny curve or something that just puts your entire car on the flip.
Yeah. You could really be like, no, that shouldn't have ever happened.
Yeah.
You should be careful with shortcuts.
You should be careful not breaking your controller as well. When
it's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Just get so mad when you're dueling, and you're just inches away from first, and you end up hitting this, you hit a side mirror on a taxi cab or something, and that mirror apparently sends your car flying. You just end up being so mad and so frustrated that you want to break everything. So we're about to head into the fourth map here, and this map I'm really excited to see how World Gamer Nation takes it, because
you need to know how World Gamer Nation take it.
When we're talking about shortcuts, this map is king. There is literally no road driving in this map.
So we'll have to have a look how this plays out. Now we've got a score update there. Look at World Gamer Nation, 65 points. And then LA, Cyber City, 43. New York are running away with it right now. But it may not all be over. They would literally have to be first, second, and third to be in with a chance of this. And they might just be able to pull it off. But even then, I just can't see it happening from what we've seen so far.
I hope that LA will at least win this one.
Yeah, I mean...
So look, we can see it already on the last map here. They have taken some crazy shortcuts. We're on that airstrip right now.
This is so cool, the jump over the SR-71.
Let me put it like this, they already missed 2 shortcuts.
See, there you go. But you've got to hit them checkpoints, and I guess that's what they're going to be very careful of. But for me, I wouldn't be taking the jumps. Do you take the jumps, Nick?
No, not at all. I stay away from jumps.
I do the best I can. I like the jumps.
The jumps look cool, but they slow you down quite a lot. And look at this chaos right now. Where is he going?
They were all trying to cut through the trees there.
And they're taking each other out.
And LA is actually currently in the lead.
In the lead, yes.
Now, this map has a dodgy tree. And if you guys watched the local stream last time, Red Eye, another British commentator that was here alongside me, he got a tree named by him, and it was called the Tree of Paul because he crashed into it every single time on this map.
Wonderful. That's typical Red Eye.
Yeah, it was brilliant. So we've got LA currently in the lead.
He's trying to fishtail. He's trying to fishtail him. You saw that?
Yeah. He's just making sure to block him off. They have a guy just being the goaltender or interceptor of the team and letting the other two sprint ahead.
Different tactics.
But we've got LA actually in the lead this time, and that wasn't good from Bandit. He doesn't seem too happy with this map as it is. And they're fighting against each other here. You should be taking on the other team.
Oh, you see that.
And they're sliding all over the place, bumping into each other still. But LA's got a firm lead here with New York in second, and then LA in third once again.
Oh, terrific. Yes.
But they really seem to be driving it in a very traditional manner.
They follow the track too much.
Yeah,
they should try.
They need to do the shortcuts.
I'm sitting here going left. Like, what are you doing there?
And now he's not taking the jumps.
there's just no reason to be zigzagging along the road like this. You can just bolt straight ahead, and yeah, there's a lot of places where you can cut off a few yards of your trip.
It does pay off to do some
theorizing on the maps.
Examination. Yes.
Yeah, we drove pretty much every map just slowly through,
just to see
figured out
where every shortcut is.
Yeah, and then figured out where our limits were speed-wise, because you can't take every shortcut because you end up having to turn too suddenly, and shortcuts needs to be something that keeps your speed going, not makes you turn really hard.
So we just
almost turn it into some kind of science.
We just saw LA take a win there, so they finally do get a first. But I don't think it's going to be enough because you got New York in second.
It can hardly be that.
Yeah, it's not going to do enough at all. But I think it's safe to say that LA did their best, but New York just came up top trumps there.
Was a very valid attempt, but Bandit there from World Gamer Nation, he
led the way up until that last race. He just did not like at all, by the looks of it.
They drove a lot
out a bit.
And the worst part is he almost drove it legally. Like,
yeah,
he didn't hit anything.
He just drove it normally, and he was still doing it wrong. He should have taken all the shortcuts. 82 for New York. Ooh. And 62 for LA, so a 20-point difference in the end.
That's a clear win.
Yeah, a very clear win there, guys.
That's gotta be rough on the ego.
Yeah, I thought I was doing pretty well, but oh man, that scoreline didn't show it.
No.
But LA drove a lot better than last time.
Yeah. And look at that, New York wins. Nice and big and powerful there.